if that's okay, and then we can get on to the other things, because I just want to basically support and reiterate a lot of what you've just said. Just recently, ISIS has actually pushed out all of the Christians from Mosul in Iraq, which they've been there for 2,000 years, and they've actually been marking their homes, just like the Nazis would have marked the homes of Jewish people in Germany just before and during World War II. So they've been, of course, destroying Iraq's historical artifacts and following on the trend of the destruction of Iraq's history since the start of the war in 2003. They've been stoning women, and basically their goal is to turn back time to 1,400 years ago. So a British person of Pakistani descent, who is born in Britain and lived there all his life, because he happens to be of this specific sect of Wahhabi Islam, he believes himself more entitled. I'd love to talk about who is backing them and basically how the media plays a role in all this as well.
Sure. I mean, they're playing dumb, like we don't know in family. They just say Wahhabists are like crazed demons. They're not Muslims. I mean, they rape women, rape men, kill babies. They just are a bunch of psycho supremacists. Like you said, they think they're God.
Sort of helping in this, because they're giving them an air of invincibility, and they're sort of muddying the waters about where their support is coming. In fact, formed in Iraq in 2006, around 2006, 2007. And one of its leaders actually admitted when he was captured that the group solely existed on the internet. And yet, even while this is happening, it was given so much attention by Al Jazeera. The thing is, Al-Qaeda was never in Iraq in 2003, even though Bush was claiming that it was. It came to Iraq much later, as I said, in 2006. So it just goes to show you that if Syria and Iraq, the countries, were not destabilized, these groups would never have been formed, have grown as they have. You know, they used to be largely a myth, and now they become a reality. I think the purpose of ISIS in Iraq was mainly to create a division between Shias and Sunnis, because in 2004, if you recall, many people were protesting against the occupation that were both Sunni and Shia, and the country was sort of united against the occupation. And in order to divide and conquer them, of course, into the Interior Ministry of Iraq, and created this very sectarian government and military. And on the other side of that coin, they created ISIS, which is, of course, sees all Shiites as basically lambs to the slaughter.
Just like Israel created Hamas to counter Hezbollah.
They're residing in Damascus, and they actually told me that the situation in Damascus is getting much better. The checkpoints are no longer very close to the city. They're moving out into the outskirts. But on the other hand, in Aleppo, I have a friend in Aleppo, and he tells me that in that city of 2 million people, they've been without running water for 2 months, because the Al-Qaeda rebels actually blew up the water supply. And this isn't ISIS, this is Jabhat al-Nusra, the other Al-Qaeda rebels that the moderate rebels that they keep telling us about seem to be working alongside. And so they're just toilet, they can't open their, make a cup of tea or anything. So they've been taking it out of rivers and just dragging them back to their homes. And you never hear about that from the humanitarians. But I just wanted to go back to Hamas just for a little bit because of what's going on in Gaza and what you mentioned about its creation. I just wanted to say, yes, they were created to weaken other groups which were based on nationalism and secularism rather than religion. But perhaps maybe Hamas just wasn't sectarian enough, because in 2001, the Mossad actually was caught trying to start an Al-Qaeda claim to have captured the 3 illegal Israeli settlers. Not Hamas. Hamas actually said they had nothing to do with it. And that was the event that was the precursor to Israel starting to bomb Gaza. So into each country being split into 3 separate states, which has been one of the main goals of a lot of these think tanks such as the Brookings Institute, that suggested this would be really beneficial towards the US and Israel. And of course, that means the creation of Kurdistan, supporting the Peshmerga there.
Let's be clear. I wonder how everybody in Israel deals with Netanyahu openly endorsing ISIS a month ago and saying, what's going on in Iraq is good for us. Good for us. I mean, how is joining with evil, causing civil war, killing innocent people, how is that good for Israel? I mean, I can see the geopolitical things for now, but how is losing the moral high ground, how is doing that good for Israel?
Well, they just want more land, I guess it's like, or they just want to continue their ethnic cleansing. Good for only the state that wants to grow. I mean, the state has a mind of its own. It doesn't care about...
Exactly. That's why all these government